What's good, people? It's your boy E with Sin Captures. So y'all check this out, right? Y'all went online or in the store, y'all picked up a Glidecam or a Flycam or whatever Steadycam y'all use, and y'all thinking to yourself, man, I'm about to start killing this filmmaking stuff. I'm about to start making buttery, smooth shots, buttery smooth shots. And then all of a sudden, y'all realize, crap, my foot is shaky, man. This stuff is hard. So today, that's the purpose of this tutorial or video is I'm going to show y'all 10 tips on how y'all can master the Glidecam or the Flycam so that way y'all can take your footage to the next level. If y'all like this content, man, and y'all feel like y'all learned something today, y'all don't forget to like, comment, and just go crazy on that subscribe button, man, so that way I can keep making content for y'all. Alright, y'all, let's get right into it. The first tip, man, I know y'all gonna be like, duh, Emmanuel, that makes sense. But for real though, it's expectations, man. I seen a lot of people always ask on comments from all these YouTubers, which one should I get? A motorized gimbal or a Glidecam? And honestly, it's kind of up to you, but I prefer, Flycams, Glidecam, or just Steadycams in general because to me, they look more natural. And that's why with expectations, y'all gotta understand the same quality of footage you get is slightly gonna be different than the quality of footage y'all get from like a motorized gimbal. Because with Glidecams and Steadycam, it's a more natural look because it's a natural extension of your arm. Alright, y'all, the second tip is balancing. Now, in order to get that buttery smooth footage, y'all gotta balance your Flycam or your Steadycam properly. So I'm about to show y'all how I balance in the correct way or the proper way to balance your Flycam, Glidecam, or any Steadycam y'all got. If this ain't balanced, y'all ain't gonna get that smooth shot. So right now, the purpose or the goal of your balancing your Glidecam or your Flycam is when it's all done, you want this to be as straight as possible. When it comes to balancing your Flycam or your Steadycam or your Glidecam, the principles are the same. So we want to balance this left to right, front to back. That's how you get that balance shot. So you can balance left to right or front to back. What I want to do is I want to balance that. So now we see it's leaning slightly, still kind of going a little bit. So right now I think we're getting there. So what we want to do is now that we've seen where we really like it, still kind of going front a little bit. So I'm going to just adjust this knob right here in the back. That's how you go front to back. So I'm going to bring that just slightly backwards a little bit. And this is going to take practice because the more y'all get comfortable and the more y'all practice, y'all kind of know, how many turns or twists you guys need to get a perfect balance. So right now, I think I'm liking that front to back. So as y'all can see, right now it's leaning a little bit to the left. So what I'm going to try to do is I am going to try to turn this side a little bit, and this is how you go right to left. I'm going to turn this a little bit to the right to see if we can bring that slightly back and get that perfect balance. So I think probably 2 good turns should do it. We're getting there, but it's still not as balanced as I would like it. So let's definitely get that going again. One more time. So I think our left to right is looking good. But as y'all can see, it's still leaning kind of front a little bit. So let's try to keep that. So we're just going to bring that a little bit right and slightly back to see where we are. Alright, y'all, let's see. Boom. So that's kind of looking good. Okay, that's kind of looking real good. I'm liking the way that balance. So let's do left to right. Boom. So right now, in terms of balancing it straight horizontally, we got it as perfect as it can be. So y'all can see like it's pretty darn balanced in terms of that. Next tip is that drop test. This is very important. When I first started, I mean, I learned how to balance it up and down and just left to right. But every time I would go, get a shot, it would be very shaky and it swayed a lot. So this is why this drop test is important, because if, let's see right now, right now this is too fast. So if I go in to take a shot, what y'all gonna notice is this is gonna be, jerking too fast, and we don't want that. So in terms of your drop test, you want to get anywhere between 2 seconds to 3 seconds. That's just the perfect range. I like mine to be roughly around 2.5 seconds, because I think 3 is slightly just too slow for what I like. But at 2.5 seconds, that's just that perfect, speed for me. So let's go ahead and get that. The cool thing about the Flycam Red King and the Devin Graham series is right here they have these adjustable knobs for your gimbal, and this kind of helps you move it up and down. I kind of like mine to be anywhere between 12 and 11 and a half. Y'all check this out. Don't make this mistake. But whenever you are balancing this, make sure you guys, this is actually perfect. Make sure y'all just balance it with everything y'all gonna need, and that includes taking off the lens cap, because it does make a difference. And I'll show y'all, see, because right now, now we're leaning a little bit towards the back. So now we just gotta bring that slightly back front to see. So I mean, it's not gonna make that much of a difference in terms of balancing, in terms of like getting back to where you are, but it does count, because every little thing matters. Every weight, every little add-on matters, because you want to make sure, because okay, right now we're back to where we were. So let's go ahead and try that right now. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So that's roughly around 2, but I still think it's slightly too fast. So what I can do is right here, I can bring this down a little more. Now there are 2 ways to reduce the speed of that drop down. Is, y'all can always take weight off here at the bottom, or y'all can bring this down. And that's why I love the Flycam Red King, because it gives me the ability to kind of just adjust that. But another way is either adding weight on top of here, rebalancing your vertical balance, and then trying to drop test again, or just moving this down. For this situation, I think I'll move this down. Let's try that. 1,000, 2, 1,003. So that is kind of where I want to be. And then let's do it again. So right now, it looks like we're pretty good in terms of just straight to balance. So let's try to swing. So right now, I like this balance. Let's show y'all this one time right here. So right here, y'all got your stuff balanced. Everything's good to go. Now the real question is, how do y'all hold this, man? What is the best way to hold this? And the first thing I'm gonna tell y'all is I kind of learned this from Parker Welbeck. Dude is super dope. And I kind of was just looking at Parker and like Evan Supertramp, and Parker said, something that I thought was super dope, is just being able to hold it with your opposite hand. So like you hold the Flycam or your Glidecam with your opposite hand, and you do all your balancing and all your control with your dominant hand. And I thought that was a dope idea, or just dope tip. So I'm gonna tell y'all, cause I tried that, and literally when I first tried that, it does take a while, man. But after practice, I guarantee y'all it's gonna take your Glidecam or your Flycam to the next level. With my dominant hand, it gives me the ability to have more control in terms of like my shot, where I want it to go, versus trying to do that with my less dominant hand. I don't have as much control. So if I hold this with my less dominant hand, it's pretty much not doing anything. The only thing it's doing is just holding this up. Now this is where the control is. So if I'm out here, if I'm panning, if I'm moving and I'm panning, I have all the control as well. So it's just a little tip for y'all, man. Try it. First couple times, it took me like 10 tries, honestly. First couple times, it does take some getting, used to. But the more y'all practice, trust me, it's really gonna help y'all. And y'all gonna thank me later, man. Y'all gonna thank me later, okay? Okay. Alrighty now. Oh. Another part of holding this properly is pressure. How much pressure do you want to put on this? So the whole goal of holding it right here is to make sure that you get as less of a pressure as possible, because you don't want to grab this mug like this, because if you grab it, every movement is going to be visible. But what we want to do is literally make this hand as non-existent as possible. Now this is just the guiding hand. So when I do mine is I put this on here. Now there's a couple ways to do it. If you want, you can just tap. Now I'm gonna be real with you, I don't have that hand-eye coordination. Cause let me tell you, brother, slow. I just get to tap and I was like tap. So instead of me just tapping, this is why I tell you it's very important to just use your less dominant hand to hold it and your dominant hand to control. Cause now with this, instead of me going super crazy, now what I can do is I can determine and judge the amount of pressure I need, which is slightly nothing. So like with this, I'm just barely holding it. Just so like pretty much it's not there. But when I need it, I can get my shot. If I need a pad, slightly hold that, get my shot. Slightly moving, get my shot. So like I'm pretty much not holding this or just not even putting any pressure. Just super light pressure, just enough to direct the gimbal, just enough to direct my Flycam to go where I need it to go. So if I'm gonna get a shot, I'm gonna be something like this. So I'm just slightly moving, I'm slightly moving. Another tip for y'all is the direction where you wanna hold it. Now, anyone that has ever messed with a Steadycam in general will tell you, man, it gets super heavy, and if you're shooting for long hours, 6, 8 hours, even 4 hours, this thing can get super heavy. The whole goal is, how can you hold this for so long without putting too much strain on your on your arms as well? So what I've realized is, and this is from personal experience, but if y'all, man, want to do it another way, it's up to y'all, man, but I'm fat and I'm lazy, so I'm going to just do it the easiest way as possible. Now, I've seen a lot of people hold it like this. Now, it's up to you in terms of how you want to hold this. This is your personal for you, but me, I don't like this, because you see, if you hold it like this, you're putting a lot of strain right here. That's too much strain, especially if you're going for hours. That's a lot of strain. Now, the way I do mine is, I do it this way. So what happens is, when I doing that way, this is more relaxed, because instead of me pushing back and just holding in air, I'm extending my arm as far as possible, and that makes it more balanced. Another thing you want to do is you want to tuck in your elbows. Use your body kind of like support a little bit, just to rest that elbow a little bit and just tuck that in. And this also helps with your shot, because this makes your shot smoother and it gives you more control. So what we want to do is just put that there like so. And I like to hold mine out like this, or sometimes like this, depending on the angle and the shot I'm trying to get. But usually I hold it out like this. I tuck in my elbows. Even on this hand, even on my dominant hand, I tuck that in as well. The next important thing y'all want to do is your posture. How you stand really matters as well. And that's important, because if y'all just walking like this, y'all ain't got that much control. So what we want to do is we want to slightly bend the knees, give a little bit of space, because you don't want to be walking like this, but you want to bend that knees a little bit, heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. Why y'all want to do that heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe? Bent knees a little bit is because when you do that heel to toe, it evenly spreads the shock. That way, when you're coming back up, boom, 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 that shock is evenly distributed and therefore helping your balance. So if y'all just, that don't help you versus you're getting your shot. Boom, 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 boom. It makes it easier. So y'all always remember, knees slightly bent. Y'all don't want to be like this, man. Y'all want to slightly bend them knees and heel to toe, heel to toe. Get your next tip is tempo. Now, the cool thing about this is you always have post-processing, whether y'all use Final Cut Pro or whether y'all use Adobe Premiere, you always have post-processing. So in terms of this, tempo does matter. So if you're going super slow, super slow, super slow, even with all this stuff, a little shake shows a lot. But if y'all have consistent movement, tempo, 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 those shots look better. Because at the end of the day, you can throw in a little bit of warp stabilizing or just bring down the speed lower and boom, y'all got a smoother shot. So just keep in mind of your tempo. Try not to walk overly too slow, because slower movement makes it easier for shake, but y'all want just a consistent tempo. A little bit quicker now, y'all just don't want to go left, right, left. Now, because then that's obviously ain't going to work. But if y'all just got that consistent movement, boom, 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 nice tempo, that helps for a better shot. The last and final tip, and I'll save the best for last, literally. Y'all ready? Practice, practice, practice. Honestly, man, y'all, I cannot just overstate the fact that y'all need to practice, man. Getting perfect shots, getting better shots with your Steadycam, with your Flycam, Glidecam, it's going to take some practice. You need to just be out there grinding, getting those shots, man, putting in those hours. For me, what I, did was after work, I come home, I put in an hour, boom, boom, boom. I've had this for a couple months, and just, I thought to myself, man, I got to get this, man, because there's always somebody out there grinding me, hustling me, so I had to learn this really quick to get the shots that I need so people can be like, okay, this dude knows what he's doing. So practice, 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 man. Y'all can never practice enough. And just like my OG used to say, practice makes perfect. My nigga, if you ain't practice, you ain't never gonna be nothing. And that's facts, man. So y'all just go out there, just grind, grind, grind.